Welcome back to Delusional Diaries Podcast. I'm Hallie.
And I'm Jazz. And I have a super pressing question. What? Do you think you get charged for puking on an airplane, how you get charged for puking in an Uber, or they just like call it a day?
I think call it a day. I don't think that...
Do you ever get like are the airlines mad at you? Like, do you have like a fee? Like,
that's a good question.
Do you get a strike? I have so many questions.
I personally have never puked on an airplane, so I don't know. But I feel like they have those air sick bags, and I feel like ultimately it's like, I mean, obviously like you could be hungover, but I feel like a lot of times puking on an airplane is probably not your fault. Like maybe you could be hungover, but a lot of times people do get motion sick and throw up from that.
You know what the worst part is though? Sometimes a plane's fully full and there's nowhere to move. For example, I was on a flight a couple months ago. I don't think I even told you guys this, but the woman in front of me got very sick. Not sure the reason.
Was she throwing up?
Yes. Not sure the reason why, but not only did she have a lot of puke, like way more than this little bag. So basically her entire row was covered in puke. And like, this is disgusting. This is so disgusting. And I, again, feel so terrible for this woman. Yeah. But like my bag she's the woman in front of me and the seat in front of me. I sleep on every plane. I fall asleep before the plane takes off. I don't wake up until it lands. Like that's normally my intention. I wake up out of my sleep because of the smell of vomit. God. She puked directly in front of me. My seat, my bag is under her seat. She puked all over my bag. Mind you, I did not realize she puked all over my bag.
Which bag? The Louis Vuitton one?
Yes, my duffel.
No.
I don't realize, this is on my flight home to New York. I don't realize.
How'd you not tell me this?
I think you must have like not answered the phone and I forgot about it.
Okay.
But it was bad. Okay. And like her whole row, we're on a full flight. They have no one to.
Yeah, where do you go?
They couldn't move people. They had to sit there. They cleaned it the best they could for the time frame, like because we were landing in like 45 minutes. I don't know why she puked so late into the flight, but she did. I felt bad. But so like they like stood up until the pilot was like, "You guys have to sit down." So I sat on like at the very end. We landed. I like get my bag. I'm like exhausted. It's like I had a red eye flight. My bag like on my suitcase. Kevin picks me up and he's like, "What's on your bag?" I'm like, "What?" The whole like opposite side of my duffel is like crusted puke.
Ew, oh my God, that's so gross.
Disgusting. I was like, you have got to clean that because I can't, because genuinely guys, this sounds terrible. Normally I would have thrown the bag away because I random strangers puke on my bag. This is my Louis Vuitton duffel. I'm not throwing this bag away. I'm like, Kevin, you have got to figure this out, which he did, but like terrible.
No, there's things like that. Like I would just throw away as well, but I like obviously like don't want to, but like that's really
like
fucking
I just have like
but you can't do that.
Like I don't.
You can't throw it away. That is like that's the worst though. I don't know because if a flight is full, I seriously don't know what you do. Like you just have to sit there, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not, oh my God, the embarrassment I would feel like unreal. And like it's so sad because I'm sure obviously
you can't control it obviously. Like if you. But no one wants to be in that situation.
I've seen people be like, I asked for they were having like stomach issues and they asked for like an Imodium or whatever that is before a plane and then they like wouldn't let them get on the flight. That's like a thing apparently
really?
Because because if you're going to have like a bunch of like diarrhea because like they don't want to have to like emergency land or something. So I guess like you're not supposed to like, but I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I've been my fair share of situations.
I've never even been like, knock on wood, I'm going to fucking have this happen next time. I've never even been remotely sick on a plane, ever.
The thing is, I don't have stomach issues. Like, I'm normally fine.
Yeah, it just happens.
It's a once in a blue moon, and it's always when I'm getting on a fucking plane.
Yeah.
Like, and like, my stomach can take anything, okay? I eat like shit all the time. Like, I'm always okay. But...
yeah.
Everyone, I think it's like a stress with travel and like, it's just a bad like mixture of things.
I also think, because like I refuse to be like a really sick hungover on a plane. Like I'm always very conscious of if I do have to like get on a plane the next day, I'm never like drinking heavy.
Well, just to be clear, mine's never like.
No, I know yours isn't from
I'm just saying, mine isn't hangover. It's just like.
Yeah.
You know.
But like, because like some of my, I feel like I have friends that'll be like, I just puked on this plane.
Like I'm never doing that.
Yeah, because I just like I can't even move when I'm like puking hungover like that. Like I'm so incapacitated. Like it's not like I could go get on a plane. So I don't know. Being hungover on a plane or an airport is like the worst.
Since you were like in New York for college, did you like go on spring break? That was like your Miami time, yeah? Was there more than that or no?
My first ever spring break, oh my God, wait, I've
I think we
told
should
you
tell some
this
spring
story.
break stories.
Okay, the first ever spring break I went on. I never share this story, but I will on the podcast. I was best friends with this girl, like met her my freshman year. We became best friends. Halfway into the semester, she's like, I actually hate New York. Like, I can't do it. Kind of has a panic and drops out. And I was really devastated. She moves very, very far away, back home. And I'm like, damn, I lost my friend. I'm like, fuck. And she was honestly like what I would consider like our level of friendship. Obviously surpassed that, but like she was like the you to me at that time, you know? So I was like, it was like if you were just like, nah, bye, like
New
whatever.
Jersey.
Yeah, but like different. Like it was like whatever. But we maintained that. So like I FaceTimed her as like much as I would FaceTime you. Like obviously I think we FaceTime a little bit more. Yeah. But like she was my ride or die. Even though we like had just met, but like I just had never like met anybody that I had clicked with so quickly because we both liked the exact same things. We both watched all the same YouTubers. Like we both had so much in common. Whereas like in high school, I had great friends, but nobody was interested.
No
in
one got you like that.
With me. So it was just like, yeah, I don't know. We had a different level of like a bond. So like, I still FaceTimed her every single day. Like this girl, like it didn't matter. We stayed really great friends. She came and visited me in Virginia over Christmas, like whatever. So then she's like, you should come visit me for your spring break. So I'm like, great. I book the fucking flight and everything. My roommate at the time was coming with me as well. We were really, because she was friends with her as well, just not like as close. But so we booked the flight, we're going, and that was my spring break trip. And like at this time, I did not have money to be fucking around with. Like if I like was paying for a flight, like that was a huge deal to me. And like I got like the cheapest flight imaginable on probably like Spirit or like whatever, but it was probably not a lot. But like at the time, like that was insane money to be spending for me. And so like we needed to stay in a hotel because she was also going to come to this city that we were going to LA. So she was going to come into the city as well. So we needed to like book a hotel and we were going to split the hotel room 3 ways. So it was going to be like relatively like affordable to me. So I was like, all right, great. So then like every day before the trip, because she had to come into the like LA as well. So I'd be like, hey, like we still haven't booked a hotel. Like, could we please do that? Like whatever. She'd be like, yeah, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. I just like, whatever. Started getting like weirder and weirder and more distant. Nothing happened. We didn't get in a fight. Like this was the most weird shit of my life. So then all of a sudden I'm like it was 2 days before the trip. And I'm like, hey, like, are we going to book this hotel? And she sends this whole paragraph with this BS reason, like not true. Me when I fucking lie type shit of why she can no longer come see me. And like, whatever. So I am sitting there having a full blown panic because I'm like, oh my God, now like, what do we even do? I was going to have to spend a lot more money to go on this trip now. And there was no reason to be going on this trip because she was the reason that we were going there. So it became this whole thing. And I thought I was like basically going to have to just be out the flight money. And like at the time, like I probably only spent like maybe like $400 on this flight, but like that was everything to me. I was like, that is literally like 50 hours of work at fucking Free People. And like the fact that I just blew all this on something that like I'm not even like, oh my God, I've never been so devastated. She immediately also, after sending this BS reason that she cannot see us, blocks me on everything. And when I say everything, I mean this bitch went to Venmo and blocked me. Like she's blocking me on fucking Gmail. Like crazy shit where I'm like, what did I do? Nothing. And you blocked me on everything. Like insane level shit. And so thank God my roommate at the time was like, let's just still go. And so we ended up going to LA and just me and her. And like I had to pay a lot more money for a hotel room. Like, and my parents did like step in and they were like, whatever, fine. And they fucking like helped me out or whatever. And like spotted some of my cost and in whatever. But I was feeling like a little brokey because like I think my roommate actually paid for like 2 of the nights at this hotel and I paid for like 1 because she's like, my dad has points, it's fine. She was definitely way better off than me. And so I was like, but I was like feeling bad. I'm like, oh, on her dime, like I have to go on this trip now. It was just like a whole mess. And I felt bad because I kind of roped her into going on this trip because she also like was friends with this girl, but whatever. So I never spoke to that girl again. Like to this day, have never spoken a word. Actually, I do believe she texted me not too long ago. She didn't say, hey, this is whatever, because I deleted her number and stuff, whatever. But she sent a whole paragraph. And I mean, this is probably 5 years later at this point that she texted me that. Maybe actually 6 or 7 at this point. But yeah, and I never responded to it because I didn't even know if it was 100% her, but I was pretty confident from the way it was texted that it was her. But just crazy shit. Still to this day, don't know what happened, why that happened, like whatever. And that was my first spring break. And I actually did have a good time in LA and I was really happy to be there. And like, I did have fun, but I definitely wouldn't have gone there had that been the sitch. Yeah.
Damn.
Anyway.
What she's up to.
I kind of know. I looked at her Instagram not too long ago. She was doing something I did not expect. But like, I don't really know what she's up to, obviously. Because she like finally unblocked me and like whatever. And she had like a public Instagram for some reason. It like came up in something. I don't know. But I haven't checked on her in actually like forever. I mean, I hope she's doing well. Like maybe that, I don't know what the fuck happened. But
That's
anyway,
crazy.
no hate. No hate. Anyway, what was your, because you didn't go to like
I didn't go to
college.
school. My friends went to school, so I
you
went
were
on
just
their
going
spring
theirs.
breaks with them.
Didn't you go to like Cabo?
I did
That's
go.
like a normal place to go on a spring break.
I
think.
did go to Cabo.
Was it fun?
I had a great time in Cabo. I had like a spring break boyfriend
Okay.
that I met in Cabo. Well, like, he went to like my friend's school,
Mhm.
but he was also in Cabo. And he was like, I look back like, what? Like, I don't have Snapchat anymore, obviously. But like, I've had to log in for something, and I was like, all my memories are like with this man in Cabo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. It was just a dark time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'm going to be so for real. I don't think I saw my friends most of that trip because I was having sex with this guy the entire time.
That's so fun. I mean, I feel like that's what Cabo spring break
No,
is.
that's what it was for. We were all staying at the same hotel. So I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm with my man.
That's so funny. Yeah, spring break is literally wild. I never had like, I guess like a normal spring break experience because I went to school in New York. So it wasn't like, oh, all the whole school goes here or whatever. But my second spring break was right when the pandemic hit. I was the day like everything kind of got announced or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like almost like actually 5 years ago to the day. It was literally like March 12th or 13th, I think, when
Really?
the pandemic hit. Yeah.
That's like when I got like sent home from my corporate job
Yeah.
because I was a club rat. And that's
Oh, right.
the first case of COVID,
Yeah.
guys, was literally, I don't know if it was the first case.
In the US or something.
Yeah, but like, the first case, like at least in Arizona, was at this club that I was at the previous day. Like that, I was at this club on a Friday night, and they came out with this like on the news on Monday that there was a case at this club.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I bring my coworkers who are like 30 and 40 who never go out. I've been begging them like, please come out with me. They come out with me, and the next day at work, they're like, there were 5 ladies who were at a nightclub this past weekend where coronavirus was contracted. Like, they need to be sent home. Like in this like public corporate forum. It was like, that was my last day of work at this job after being there for 2 years. Because I ended up getting laid off afterwards. So
That's literally crazy.
yeah,
Sorry.
terrible.
Yeah, March 13th. What's today? The 12th. March 13th, the Trump
Dang.
administration declares a nationwide emergency and issues an additional travel ban on non-US citizens. Like that was the craziest time.
That was
Yeah, literally 5 years ago to the day. Right now we're filming this on March 12th. But that's actually crazy. Yeah, my spring break I was supposed to be leaving on the literal like 13th or whatever. And it was like there had been, or maybe even a couple days prior, but I remember there had been like talks like, I think stuff is going to start shutting down. Like it was
Yeah.
kind of like crazy and I just couldn't even fathom that. And it was such a scary time where I thought like if you got COVID, you were going to, everybody did, like you were going to fucking die.
yeah. You just don't know anything. At that point.
So it was like very scary. And I remember my parents are very like liberal woke type of vibe.
Yeah.
And so my mom is like, you are absolutely not going. And then all of my friends were still going on this spring. We were going to Florida and they were all still going on this spring break
Yeah.
trip. And I remember like I was scared and I didn't really want to go. But then I have all my friends being like, we're going. Like, what do you mean? And so I was kind of like stuck in the middle and my parents were like, absolutely not. So I didn't go. I missed out. And like the shutdown, I remember like happened while they were there.
Yeah.
And then they had to like, I think the flying was just, they all got home and stuff, but it was definitely like kind of a shit show.
Messy.
I was really grateful to not have, I'm like, thank God looking back, I made the socially correct decision to not go, as well as like, just not having to deal with all that. I would have had so much anxiety.
So
like,
much.
oh my God, like trying to get home and stuff. I already like don't like flying, trying to get on a plane or, oh my God, no. But yeah, and then I remember, this is like so drama, okay? But I was living in New York City when this was all being like announced and stuff. And I remember literally being like I was living in this apartment that I fucking hated. I hated my unpaid internship. I hated my job at Free People, like whatever, just because it was like shitty dealing with fucking people in Rockefeller Center, and like I was getting paid minimum wage and they would never give me a raise.
Yeah.
And anyway, and I like didn't like my school. Like I didn't like anything, and I was just like whatever. And then it gets announced, and I'm like walking. I remember it was the most surreal feeling, like walking around this apartment. I like hated living in, and I was like, wait, like this might be my last day ever living in this apartment, even though I had like months left on the lease, because I was just like, wait, I don't know if I'm ever coming back here. Like, this is so crazy. And then I started to like be like, am I ever going to come back to New York City? Like, what's the world going to be? And I remember like wandering around the streets and nobody was there. Like everybody was like already in their apartments, like panicking. And I was like, I've never even experienced like all of these New York things. Like I like haven't lived life. Like I remember it was like such a weird feeling. And I literally was like, I've never had a New York piece of pizza. And I went and like got a piece of pizza. And I was like, I have to experience this. Like I was literally acting like the world was ending. And I was like,
that's what it felt like at the time.
It did. But I remember I was like, I've never really had pizza like this. Like, what do you mean? Like I've never even gone to these places. So I like walk in and it's like trying to order and I'll, like whatever. And I got a piece of pizza and I was just like, damn. And then, yeah. And then I went home and then I had to come back like months later. And like I abandoned all my stuff there too. Cause I just like had to go home to Virginia and I left all my furniture, everything in this apartment. And then my dad and I went back months later and I've never seen anything like it. Like driving through Times Square and there actually not being a single human being. Like it was like literally like tumbleweeds fucking blowing in the wind. It was the craziest thing. Yeah.
Meanwhile, people are just like tie-dyeing shit and like making coffee.
It was honestly like thinking back, like it was kind of a vibe, like in the sense like the fucking whipped coffee, the tie-dyeing, the like the sparkles, like the sparkle feature on every single video, the Renegade, the Hype House, like everything kind of was eating.
And like you just like didn't care.
No.
Like that's the reason I was able to start posting. Because like I literally did not care. I'm like, the world is ending.
No,
and
that's
like,
what
and I'm locked up inside.
That's what I talked about when I spoke at Berkeley. I was like, that's how I started. Like I never would have, because I was always like the thought of having to go into like a classroom or, you know, work or whatever the next day and face people who have probably seen that you just started like posting or whatever was such an embarrassing thought to me. And then for the foreseeable future during COVID, there was like, wait, I'm not going to have to interact with a single other human. Like who's going to, like if anybody's making fun of me, they're going to do it behind my back. Like who the fuck is going to see me in person to even say shit?
Also, that was like the biggest benefit of starting at that point in time is you gave less fucks because there weren't fucks to give.
Yeah, there was no fucks. Like, and everybody was on TikTok bored as fuck.
Yeah, not to say that you can't do it now, but I'm just saying like that mindset was easier to get into at that point in time than it is currently.
Yeah.
But like, that's obviously still like the largest hump.
Yeah.
But also I feel like it's more like almost normalized now than it was then to like be doing that and trying to do
yeah so. It is more normal, but I think I saw a video the other day of this girl saying like, oh, you know, like when a girl from my high school accidentally sends me my own video and is like, oh my gosh, like her trying to be an influencer, it's so embarrassing. And then I saw somebody make a video, I can't remember who it was, but they were basically like, it's never embarrassing to try. Like, do you think your favorite influencer blinked and woke up and they're suddenly like Alex Earl? No, Alex Earl was trying for years with like, not no success. Like she had a couple 100,000 followers, but she was not at fucking like Paris Fashion Week going to Miu Miu shows, you know? And it's like, it's never embarrassing to try. And if anybody makes you feel that way, that was like the biggest thing I learned during COVID is just, it's literally not embarrassing to try. Who cares?
I think that's what helped too is like when like I met you and like Carly and other influencers, I was like, oh, like we're all trying.
Yeah.
Like, and to be around others who were also trying, it was way less intimidating. Like, and we're less in your head about it in that sense.
Yeah.
And so I would say also like just like a tip, if you're looking to start, if you can find like your little community of like friends who like are commenting on your stuff and sharing your stuff and like understand like the effort that's going into it and who are being supportive instead of like hating on you for it, it makes a big difference in like how much you're willing to put into it.
Yeah. Trying is genuinely the hardest thing in the world. I will be honest, like it is so, because it is embarrassing to, like, it's not embarrassing, but to you, it is embarrassing when, like, I remember feeling that way when I would post videos and, like, they would so flop, they'd get 20 likes. And I was like, damn, I just spent, like, 2 hours trying to make that video and it got 20 likes. And now everybody's, like, from my high school, I feel like is seeing this and being like, damn, she's flopping. Like, that's how it felt. And it felt, I don't know. And it's like, I literally always think to, like, not always, but more recently, I've been thinking into, like, Chapel Roan, like, Roan. why can't I fucking speak? She like there's videos of her in like parks playing Pink Pony Club, and no one.
I would like to say, this sounds so pick me of me.
That you discovered her first?
But no, I'm not saying I did, but I'm just saying during COVID, during 2020, I discovered that song on my Spotify, like suggested for you. And I spent every single day floating in my pool high as fuck, listening to that song on repeat.
That's really funny.
Like it was like, I think it was like my highest played song in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Chapel, she's a fan.
Yeah.
But it's like there's videos of her like playing that song in a park and like no one gives a fuck. Like it's like literally nobody. There's like 2 people standing there or something. And it's like now obviously she's like one of the biggest artists in the world. Like, I mean, like in, I don't know, in the world, US, whatever. But she's huge, obviously such a success. And it's like, people kind of viewed it as like an overnight success. Like, wait, she just came out of nowhere. It's like no, she just got the hype out of nowhere. She's been trying for years. And
that's
like,
what it is with like literally everything.
it is. It's like, I mean, there are some people where I will say like, it does just kind of happen overnight. Like one thing happens and it's just like, wait, I never expected this. Like, oh my God. And they have a platform all of a sudden. That is a thing sometimes. But I think a lot of it is like,
a slow and steady thing.
and I saw Benton made a TikTok where he was like, you're seeing the end result. Like when you see these successful influencers, it's not like this immediate whatever. It's like you're seeing the end result of like years of hard work and like years of seeing absolutely no results until you finally do, you know?
The Great Rewards Hunt is on, so join the adventure with DraftKings Casino. For fun seekers, follow the trail to huge jackpots, weekly bonuses, and exclusive games.
But the excitement is only getting started because new players can get 500 casino spins on a featured game. Just sign up with code DIARIES and wager a minimum of $5 to receive 500 casino spins on a featured game. Only on the most rewarding place to play, DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-9777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Connecticut and Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for feature game only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends 4/27/25 at 11:59 p.m. ET. And I mean, I think that speaks to the whole, to segue into like the boring influencer conversation that's going around. I don't even want to touch too heavily on it because I just feel like there's already like honestly too much discourse on it in general over something
There's plenty of points you can make in any direction.
Yeah. Like I do think, obviously, I think the biggest one that is kind of the most glaringly obvious within all of this and that a lot of people have made videos on, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm coming up with this or it's revolutionary, but the fact that the original video was obviously like everybody's the same and it's like you choose your own For You page, you can just block people or hit not interested on videos
like
that you don't want to see.
The algorithm.
It does.
Like I be seeing shit like this was made for me.
No, I mean, I curate my For You page.
Exactly. So like, I'm saying like my For You page, it hits every single time. Maybe a week or two, like randomly where a day like where it's off. It's like, oh, they're doing an update. You can tell they're doing an update. But overall, I'm like, this is me. Like, this is me. And like, if you're saying shit you don't like, it's because you were fucking watching it. So like, you secretly do like it.
It is true. Like even if you hate it, you're still watching. If you're hate watching,
it knows you're still engaging with a video. It doesn't know that you hate it and that's why you're engaging. It knows that you're engaging. So like it's going to keep showing you things relative to that.
I will say like I agree in the sense like I don't want my For You page to be full of NYC influencers. Like I do still watch because I love to like support my friends and like there are creators that I am genuinely I'm still interested in what people are doing, but I do not want that to be even nearly like a fourth of my For You page. That's why I engage with like African safari videos. I'm like, you know what? I want to see people on a fucking safari.
That's why you were on fucking Moodang for so long.
Yes, like I want to be seeing that. So I'm liking that stuff. I'm like saving those videos. I'm like watching the entire length of the video because I'm like, this is what I'm interested in, and this is what I want my For You page to show.
The shares, all those things like go into like the algorithm knowing how much you like something.
But like, and I also think it's a little bit. I feel like there's such a fear for women of being basic and it's looked at as such a bad thing. Like, oh, like you all have Uggs. And it's like, let the girls have Uggs if they want to have Uggs. No, I don't think that we should act like they're fucking revolutionary or anything like that. But it's like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with being basic. You can
think things are basic for a reason because they're good.
Yeah.
And if a lot of people like them, like. Good.
And it's just like, let people like what they like let people, whatever. If it's not inherently like harming anybody, I just think and you're allowed to have your opinion. Like, I think you can think people are boring. Like, I agree. I think people are boring too.
My biggest thing, and I've said this every single time, is like this conversation comes up because it's always coming up. Group chat with your fucking friends. I don't understand the need to bring hate to random places of the internet. Like, talk shit with your friends like a normal person.
Yeah. I also think I saw Kennedy make a video, and I agree with this point as well. She was like, I don't think like it's even like whatever, but she was like, something I would like to see from brands is like, yeah, there is the same group of like 5 girls going on a lot of trips. And I find that kind of boring because we see those girls like hang out, they're already a friend group, and then you just drop them at a random island, and like it's kind of the same thing. And I do agree with that. I agree completely. Like, it is always interesting to see a dynamic of like an influencer from Vegas, an influencer.
Yeah, I love like Bora Bora, for example. Like, we met the twins. We met like Allison's sister.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have like had that interaction otherwise.
It's like, and it's nothing to do with the creators. It's just the fact that like, and of course, like they're going to make content together when they're on the trip. That's what they're supposed to do. And why would they not? They're all friends.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not necessarily like that exciting to see people who already make content together relatively often because they live in the same city, then go make content together in an island. Like, it's just kind of like, okay.
It's nice to have the crossovers, like, which I do agree with.
Yeah, like I do think it's fun. Tart does curate like a group of like a lot of different kind of individuals that like come together, and it does make it exciting because you're like, wait, oh my gosh, this creator and this creator that I never thought would like ever post a video together are suddenly together on the same place. And they also like, Tart does do it well with like having a diverse group of people. And I always think that's necessary because I agree, like, I don't know, and back to the whole original point of every girl looking the same and whatever, that's not necessarily, I mean, that is the case, but it's like, you can just follow other creators that don't look alike. That's how it works. Like, you should be following a diverse group of influence. Like I do, like my For You page, every swipe is different. Like, it's a different creator that looks completely different and lives a different life.
But that's a choice that you make. If you're not getting that, it's because you chose not to have it be that way.
Yeah. But like, I agree. I don't think I'm necessarily doing anything revolutionary. I don't think I'm like the most awesome special person ever. But also like,
I just want to say also, like, I made a video being like how it sounded. People said that they hate influencers. I made that video in relation to a workout video. That wasn't even about the video that ended up blowing up, and I ended up removing mine because people were thinking it was about this other girl, like, which also, like, point still stands, but like that's not what it was, and it was making it seem like it was something that it wasn't. But like, I just also think, okay, who cares? And like, I'm making a video being like, that's how you sound. It's not like caring. Just like, I don't get creating a space to be hateful. Like, I will never understand that. I will never be able to comprehend or think that's useful or a good use of time.
What just kind of frustrates me about the situation is the fact that I think we can both speak to this. Like, it is frustrating to have both grown up very, very like normal, if anything, like worried about our finances. Like, not in the sense that I want to make it clear. Like, obviously I never was like at home being like, oh, am I going to have a meal tonight at dinner? Like, I always knew my parents would provide for me in that sense. But like, in order to provide for myself, knowing I had $100,000 of student debt under my belt, like, was literally the thing I fell asleep every night thinking about. And I literally never knew how I'd get out of it. And then to, on my own, without anybody's help, start doing something, have it become successful, and put 5 years of work into something, which I'm not saying is hard, but like we've discussed, like, the trying aspect and everything like that, and then become like financially stable for myself, be able to give back to my community, be able to like take my parents on a vacation that they wouldn't otherwise be able to go on. Like, all of this stuff is something that I am really proud of, and I don't think I should have to shy away from. And it's always like, you influencers have so much privilege, and like, I want to say, yes, I of course have, like, I am a thin, blonde, white woman. I inherently have so much privilege, and I acknowledge that completely. But I think there's always this viewpoint with influencers that they all come from money, and it's like, oh, you just got everything handed to you.
And a good chunk do come from money. Like, I'm not saying, and like, does it make some content easier because they had money? Yes, but also like, in general, it is difficult, and you can agree to disagree, to gain a following and keep that following interested for multiple years.
No, I agree. Like, it's there are people, I mean, you can look like blew up for a reason and it's like they got 1 million followers, and then you go look at their page now and it's like they can't keep that audience engaged. Just no shade to them, but it's just the truth. Like their engagement is really, really, really low compared to their following.
It's a thought every single day, like, to continue that. And like a week when it's not well, like gives you extreme anxiety.
Yeah. But I don't know. It just kind of does bother me when I see the hyper criticism of things that are not inherently bad. And it feels like it's really just being picked apart because women are doing it, where it's like, if a man were doing these things, like the influencing industry was literally like women have paved the way and women dominate the field. I think that, I can't remember the exact percentage, but it's like in the 80 or 90% of like content creators are women.
Yeah.
And like, how awesome is that? Like, that there are women that are supporting families, that are like bringing themselves out of horrible financial situations, that are able to like leave abusive, toxic like relationships because they now have financial freedom. Like, how awesome is it that women are able to do that? And we sit there and like every single second we have the opportunity, like undermine and ask, why do they have the platform? What is like the reason? Like, oh, they're so privileged, they're so annoying. And it's like
you didn't even see any part but the current result.
Yeah.
And also, like, you don't see every single video and you don't know half the things that they do behind closed doors, whether that be good or bad. But like, there are plenty of like things and like good things that happen, and good things, people that like get a following and do good things with it. That you might not see every single video. Brand, for example, you may see 5 videos of him blacked out drunk, but you probably won't see the 3 videos of like where he like donated all this money and like did all these things and brought up these 3 businesses. Like,
yeah,
you may only see one part of it, but that doesn't mean that the other part's not happening.
Yeah. And I agree. Like, and I think we are very like conscious constantly. Like, yeah. I met somebody, like I met a brand rep the other day at this dinner, and she was like, you are just so down to earth. And I was like, why would I not be? Like,
yeah.
I was raised on the fucking ground, like very, very close to it, like understanding like the cost of $1 and like all of this stuff. And like, now that I've obviously like come into like being able to support myself, doesn't mean I don't still like have all those values from when my entire 20 something years of growing up. Like, I'm very, very aware of like everything going on. And I do feel like we are constantly like, so because we didn't grow up with something like this, we are so grateful for it. Like, every time we go on a brand trip, we're like, holy shit, like,
we're having this,
I can't believe that we like, this is so insane. Like, oh my God.
Or I think we just also have like good reality checks with each other. Like, never that we're out of reality, but like, even like when we're buying our watches, for example, like we have these conversations like, can you believe like this is what this is? Just because like, believe me, my ass didn't even know what Cartier was until this point in time. But like, I don't feel like it's a bad thing to like want to have those things now that I've worked and can do those things for myself. It doesn't mean that the things aren't happening. Like, I got my grandparents a car. But like, God forbid I treat myself, because like, I'm proud of like where I'm at currently.
100%. And I think that, you know, and I want to say like, being called boring, I do think I was probably, I was one of the creators probably being referred to. I know people like, she didn't name names, but like, I probably was. Trust me, I can't speak to anybody else. Like, other people may have been / probably were offended, but I was not offended by being called boring. Trust me, like, I watched that video and I was like, all right, that felt fucking negative, but I scrolled past it and I was just like, whatever. I didn't expect it to blow up into what it was. Yeah. Trust me, the amount of horrendous videos that I have seen about myself with comment sections filled with like the nastiest
videos, but like direct DMs.
Yeah, like I've seen the nastiest stuff about myself ever imaginable. Trust me, being called boring like was honestly like a compliment. I'm like, oh, you just think I'm boring? Like, period. Thank you. Like, I would rather be boring than like the horrendous like accusations I get constantly. Like, that did not really offend me. I thought the video was in mean spirit, so I didn't like enjoy it.
I just don't like mean things.
But yeah, I also think I constantly get humbled 24/7 with like random shit. So I'm very in reality and whatever with all of that. And I also think we express our gratitude constantly, and we do a lot of like giveaways and give back.
A lot of, and like, we're not just like giving away. I'm not tooting our own horn, but I'm just saying like, we're not just like giving away PR. Like,
yeah,
we spend a good chunk of money on like giveaways and like donations.
Oh, great. No, I know.
Year.
We literally have like, you just did your Costco one. I've donated to teacher wish lists. GoFundMe's
with fires.
We've done
a bunch, like, always teacher stuff. Like there's so many things. Like
I'm not even trying to like sit here and brag. Like I would never like post about this or anything, but I like will like get tagged in videos of people being like, hey, could you please donate to my whatever? And I constantly donate to people's like whatever without saying a word about it. But it's
like, if you talk about it, it's like you're doing it because you talk. You're just talking about it because like whatever. And then if you don't, then it's like you don't do anything. It's like there's like no winning either way. But also like, people keep asking how we're getting G7Xs. Guys, we're buying them for the markup price to give them away. Yeah. Like we're not.
No, like we're buying the like
how it's working.
The double the price like resold type ones. Like
because,
which
like we can.
Yeah. And obviously it's like really fun when, you know, that's like our number one comment is like, how'd you take this picture? How'd you take this picture? Yeah. And it's great to be like, here is exactly how, here's the camera. Like, I think that's really fun. It always makes me so happy to be able to give back in any way I can.
But also keep in mind, just want a quick note, we pick every giveaway winner randomly. Mm-hmm. Like people got mad because a winner already had a Sony camera. We're not going through and checking everyone's
like
shit.
Vetting every single thing.
If you enter, you have a chance to win. Like,
and it'd be unfair if you're like, who needs this camera the most out of everyone? Like, how would we even determine that?
It's just, it's not fair. Like, we try to do like a couple a month, and that's for like giveaways, and that's how it works.
Yeah. Also, I'm fairly positive, according to like we'd pick them completely randomly through a generator, but according to FTC guidelines, I believe you have to follow that, or it's technically like I
don't know how it works,
but I'm saying like we literally have to also.
Yeah. I'm not reading like DMs like, oh, you deserve to have it. Like that's just not fair at that point.
But yeah, I don't know, that whole discussion. It just makes me a little sad because I do feel like there is it's so hypercritical of women who are successful. And it's not to say like I was even thinking about this when I was speaking at Berkeley. They kind of asked me about the Reddit threads. They actually like that was in one of the prepared questions, and then like I didn't end up speaking about it, but I thought it was kind of an interesting thing to talk about, is the sense that like the Reddit threads, I believe, like I always do appreciate constructive criticism, and I actually think that if
there was a way to filter Reddit with just constructive criticism, I'd be on every day.
Because I agree, like I think,
and there was a point in time where there were things like, oh, this is helpful.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think that some of those NYC influencers started. I remember reading it at the beginning, and a lot of it was pretty valid criticism. It was like, hey, like this influencer is sharing what I eat in a day, and she's counting out 12 almonds for breakfast and posting that to her followers. Like that's fucking weird. And I agree. Like I would read that and I'd be like, you know what, that's right. And I would sometimes even take a lot of that like to heart and be like, you know, okay, like maybe that's something I would have probably like posted, but now that I read this and I think about it, that is maybe not the best. Like I don't want to be doing that. And there was a lot of constructive criticism, and I actually think there was a productive point to the snarks. It has gotten so out of hand, and that's why like we don't stopped reading it anymore. But
we talked about this before, but like it became so fucking. I don't know what it is like. Current, I'm sure it's terrible, but like there's a point where it was so toxic, where it was like detrimental to mental health. Like mine personally, I was like, I literally like I'm miserable. I'm literally miserable. Like I'm so sad all the time. It's not even making posting fun anymore. And I can't go about my job or my day because this is like so mean and hurtful being picked apart in this sense.
I agree. I think what did it for me is like, I would kind of constantly worry, like, before I posted every single thing, I'd say, oh, are they going to screenshot this and put it on Reddit? Like, I don't know. Until I realized I would even be careful with what I was posting in the sense of, like, not getting on Reddit. I realized I would go check. Every single thing I posted was on Reddit. It did not matter if I had thought it through and thought, I vetted this, there's no way they're going to have anything bad to say.
A constructive comment. It was just, like, unnecessarily nasty.
Yeah. Like, it was constantly, and, you know, people will, like, and it's just, like, the people that come for looks specifically, like my favorite is when they like screenshot your face in a random moving, talking, whatever, and they like say the nastiest things about it. And it's like, I would love to do the same thing to you. Please to show a video of you talking. And like also like
where you don't have a possible bad angle.
Why also like does everything have to be centered around looks? You're the first people to like get mad about that. And then I mean, we could beat this topic into the ground, whatever.
No, we literally could forever.
It's like, to me, it's like, that's one of the things that I think is most relatable about both of our content specifically, and why I choose to follow a lot of creators that are similar to us, in the sense that I like a creator who will just pick up their phone and speak to the camera, and they're not like full beat eyelashes on, like perfect all the time. we just are like try to be like real in this, and not that you're not real for, you know, having full glam on. You can do whatever you want, but there's a lot more polished aesthetic creators, and then there's people like us who I acknowledge I look like fucking shit sometimes in my videos, but that's the point. Like, I don't care. Like, why do I have to look so perfect in every video to not get hate and be like, discredit the fact that I could be possibly attractive or something when I have makeup on, or I don't even know. It's all just like ridiculous. And they're just, I feel we've lost the plot so far in those Reddit threads that it's no longer productive, which is
it's just straight up cruel and mean. Like me and Kevin talked about like getting engaged. I was like, I have got to get off of this prior because it will ruin this for me. Like, it will actually make this a worse experience. And it doesn't go back to like caring about the comments, but like no one's meant to read mean things about them 24/7. Like, no one's meant to like know people's opinions that are just like flat out rude and nasty. Like, no one's supposed to know those things.
No one's supposed to know it.
It's hurtful either way.
I agree.
Whether you care or not, like, it's like, it's mean, and it's going to like hurt your feelings. Whether you agree with it and you know it's not true, it's still just hurtful that someone would think that about you.
It's, to me, it's like we were never meant to be seen. We were never meant to know people's opinions on us like that, on any sort of public facing aspect, period, good or bad. And I really, really had to like learn that the hard way, because I would go through such highs of so many nice comments of people being like, you're so amazing. And then I would 2 seconds later, I'd be like, you're the fucking worst. You returned stuff to Abercrombie in 2022, you stupid bitch. Like, whatever. It was such a back and forth where I was like,
you can't
spiraling.
give anything like any weight now, because it'll just ruin it either way.
No. And so like, I like get all of these amazing, like I adopt Rusty and it's like, you're a saint, you're an angel, she's the best influencer. And I'm like, I take that with the tiniest grain of salt, because I'm like, I'm not perfect. And like I've spoke about this before, I'm not going to beat it into the ground again, but it's like, I just have to take everything with like the tiniest grain of salt, because like, I'm not an angel, I'm not a saint, I'm not a perfect person. I'm also not a horrible, awful, stupid, horrible cunt like everybody said. I fall in the middle, as does probably every single person listening to this podcast or writing the mean comments or the nice comments.
But it also sucks because there's such a special level of community that you get with having a following, and it sucks to try to like find the balance between like giving a sweet DM of like someone you really connected with, like helped through something, and like giving that weight without like not making sure it doesn't like teeter-totter to the other side of like giving the other situation weight too, because taking the good with the bad, like you have to like find the happy medium. And it's like when someone's like pouring out the heart to you over a DM, it's like, wow, like that was like, it makes you like feel like good, but you can't give that too much good, because then like the bad will hit differently.
I agree.
Which sucks.
I agree.
But I just wish everyone was nice.
I mean, I'm okay with a little bit.
It goes back to like, there's constructive things and there's things that are just like flat out nasty. Like it goes back to like treat others how you want to be treated. Like, very simple concept. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you.
Oh, are we at 30? I didn't even realize. Oh, we didn't even have to include that. Okay.
We'll see you next week. It's been real. It's been fun.
Bye, guys.
What?